Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Blame It on Marketing. It's 2026, and we're very excited to talk about ABM, account-based marketing. If you're not on the train, I guess you wouldn't be watching that then, maybe. If you're a diehard fan, I don't know, maybe. We've got a wonderful guest with us today, Marta, which I will let introduce herself.
Thanks for having me, first of all. Marta George. I am a Senior Field and Channel Marketing Manager for UKI, Nordics and Benelux at Cribble. But we probably wonder why the hell she's going to talk about marketing if she's in Field and Channel. I was doing ABM for just over 2 years, really, at Pink Identity. My previous role was head of ABM at Pink Identity.
Awesome.
So she's an expert. She knows all about it. The good, the bad and the ugly. That's what we're going to talk about.
Oh.
So before we get into it, Marta, tell us your marketing confession or a career confession, something that you've royally fucked up.
We get in straight away. My biggest marketing fuck up. I mean, maybe not the biggest one, but the recent one. It's probably taking the ABM role. Shocker. Let me unpack this. It's not that bad because I'm gonna get literally some legal letters coming to me in a minute. Taking the ABM role without really knowing if the company and everything else around it is set up, because taking the title is great. It sounds fantastic, but it fucking takes a village. It's not really just one person having a title and doing ABM. Yeah, I think taking it without realizing that it really takes a whole village.
So you've got a great taster for the rest of this episode, I guess. So we spoke in our kind of pre-chat about how you got there. So you were doing kind of more field and other marketing, and then it came up the availability to kind of do the ABM role. So do you feel like it was like a moment of like, let's just do ABM as a company? Or do you think that it made sense, but it wasn't necessarily then resourced the way it should have been?
Yeah, it was a little bit of, two companies merged together. I ran a few pilots in field, and it was a little bit of a moment of like, okay, well, we should probably do ABM more. Let's just do it. And for the last few years, ABM had this moment of golden goose laying golden eggs. Oh my gosh, whoever's going to do ABM is going to be a millionaire instantly, and just company's going to just be fantastic. And yeah, ABM is great, don't get me wrong, I'm not bashing it, but I think it was a little bit of like, let's just slap a title on someone, let's just do it and let that person deal with it, without really making sure that it's not just that person's job, it's not just that person dealing with sales, it's not just the sales and marketing alignment, the most important alignment that everyone talks about, bullshit. It's an alignment of everything, design. Do I actually have someone who understands account-based marketing from a design perspective and brand perspective? Is there enough support from product marketing or product in general to support and help with that personalized strategic content writing? Is there enough understanding in field marketing, how to connect that, how to connect channel and ABM, how to connect the corporate marketing and ABM? Yeah, it was a little bit like, let's just do it because it's important and we want to do it because we want to make a lot of money. Great.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
It's that like, let's do it because we feel like we've tried loads of other things. And I think a lot of the time it gets thrown into the mix, doesn't it? Because it's like, we want to go after either a larger like ICP. So in the thing that I've seen people make the mistake of doing is going after like enterprise when it's not really their ICP and they think ABM is the way to do that. I mean, in theory, yes, it is, but it is like they market. Yeah, it's you've got to have the budget, you've got to have the resource, you've got to have people who have probably done it before as well. No shade, Marta.
No.
I'm sure you did a bang up job, but it does help when you've done it before, doesn't it?
Oh, hell yeah, absolutely. You know what? I think the understanding was, we as a company were going only for large enterprises and well, let's do ABM because that's what we can do. So it's amazing. Let's just go for it. And it was kind of thrown together as, well, these are the most important accounts. We just need to win with them. Let's just
figure
do ABM.
It out.
Let's just figure it out and kind of come up with a global strategy for it. Great. And yeah, of course, I did not do it before. I've done a pilot on some kind of mostly deal-based marketing. at field, and this is that kind of low-hanging fruit that helps you, and then everyone got excited, oh my gosh, yeah, it works, great. But then moving into extreme amount of accounts, first of all, extreme amount of accounts in the first year, because it's been thrown with like 87 accounts. Me, one person, 87 accounts, let's just do ABM to them. Fuck my life, that's just not going to work. First of all, I'm one person. Second of all, zero support in terms of creatives, writing, you know. I ended up sitting and writing email nurtures on my own, or sitting in Canva and creating assets. Like, that takes extreme amount of time, first of all. And trying to literally churn through assets doesn't really make me stop for a second and think of what the results actually are and the campaigns that maybe go live. Treating it in general as just campaign, you know, let's just do an ABM campaign. ABM is not a campaign. It's a full commercial strategy that companies should really, if we wanted to invest in it, we're investing a lot of money, a lot of time in it, not just throwing a campaign and hoping it's just going to bring millions within the first 3 weeks. I think that's what was the most annoying part.
Yeah. So let's talk about that then. What's the difference between real ABM and what most teams are actually doing? I have literally sat in meetings where people are like, let's do ABM Lite. Like, are you fucking kidding?
What the fuck
What a
is
diet.
What is ABM Lite? I just want to know, like, I want to know a description. What the fuck is ABM Lite? Because nothing in ABM is light.
It's basically terrible crap personalization.
Yeah.
It's not even like, it's not, I wouldn't even call it personalization. It's like, oh, you paid attention to the industry they're in. That's literally probably about as far
you
as
slap
it
a logo?
goes. Yeah.
Great. Fantastic.
We made a video about this vertical. Let's put it on a landing page and send them an ad.
ABM Lite.
ABM Lite.
Great, ABM Lite. Oh my gosh, I love that. I
hope that works.
That definitely works. Within 3 days, you basically hitting all your KPIs. That's, yeah, for sure. What is the big difference? First of all, there's no such thing as ABM Lite, as I said. Nothing in ABM is light. I see real ABM, and it might be completely my opinion, but I spoke with a couple of people who are much more intelligent and much more experienced in ABM than me. It's like, you know, when you're running a field marketing, I'm going to start from that. When you're a field marketer and you're looking at your region as your total kind of go-to-market, you know all the nuances about this field, you know exactly what hits, how you speak to that specific region, you localize everything for the specific region, and I'm not just talking about translating it into a correct language, it's just everything around it. I see ABM program and the strategy as looking into specific account, if you're doing a one-to-one, or the cohort of accounts, if you're going one-to-few, as that, this is your field. Everything needs to be done specifically for that account. The language, the colors, the design, the way they speak, what actually they care about from any perspective. Do they care about sustainability and, I don't know, local environment, anything else? Everything is really tightly connected with this specific account or a cohort. You treat every single program as a separate field, and that's how you go for it. This is the full ABM, and it takes extreme amount of time to prepare, to make sure that you're relevant to that specific account. It takes time. It takes a lot of people to just do it. It's not just one person coming and bringing some ideas to the table. It's 20 or more people getting into it and actually making sure that whatever you're coming up with, that strategy is relevant. So yeah, it's definitely not light, isn't it?
That is not light.
Sounds like a buttload of research just to even
to
like begin to, yeah.
Well, it's also I feel like one of the things that really irritates me about this sort of like mantra that people have, which is, we just do it, is that it completely disregards the relationship that you need to build with that business and the people in the business, because that's the thing, that's the clincher, right? Isn't it? It's like, have you actually, through your marketing efforts and your sales efforts, managed to build decent relationships with these people? And if you haven't, you've not done ABM. You've just done marketing.
You've just spent a lot of time
and money
chasing your tail.
Yeah.
But just stick to the manager, and seriously, just stick to what you're doing, guys. Otherwise, I think, a lot of people start, and I started exactly the same way as well. Don't get me wrong, I was ambitious. Like that's not something that was given to me and I've been put under the wall. You have to do it or we're going to fire you. No, I wanted to do it. It was my decision that I wanted to pursue that kind of part of marketing. A lot of people start from customers, and it makes sense because you already know those people. You have some kind of relationship built. You're starting a little bit easier because you know a lot about your customers. But you only know what you know. You have no clue what's there uncovered yet. So that preparation, then that research and really digging deep into the needs of that customer or of that account takes time. And it takes probably about 3 months to prep the campaign, at least the first campaign in your program, to get it live. And that's what a lot of people forget about, because they think, let's just do ABM, let's start from the 1st of January, because everyone wants to start from early where the fiscal year starts, and they expect results by the end of this month. How many MQLs we've got? Fuck's sake, if someone asks me again how many MQLs we got from an ABM program, I will literally throw myself
It's
out
like
of the window.
that's a fundamentally
Hopefully
flawed
one
question.
at some point for that
One
account.
in about a year.
One in about a year. That's great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Like, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
That's another topic for a podcast, I think. The death of MQLs forever. But yeah, and I think that is the problem. And it's not necessarily a problem of the ABM or of the marketing or the people that want to do it. It's the problem of every, I think, B2B company at the moment. The pressure of time. Everything needs to be delivered now, quickly. The results needs to be yesterday. The money that we're spending needs to be nearly zero. So let's just do everything for free and have fantastic results from it. Well, ABM is a completely different type of marketing. It's expensive as hell because everything costs a lot of money. It's giving that trust to the marketing as well from the board, from the leadership, trusting in marketing that we're investing a lot of money in you, and we probably won't see any results for a year, 2, maybe even more in ABM, to be honest. You won't see anything, but you trust that this works, because ABM is not something new. It's been in the market and it's been done for many, many years. We know it works. You just need to give it time, and that time is what companies and leadership just don't want to give. That's the problem.
Yeah, and I think I actually think it goes back to me. For me, it goes back to this whole problem that companies have, which is that they are very nearsighted. Like, they are like, short-term wins. What are the quick wins? Let's just do stuff is a really like reactionary thing to be saying to people in your company anyway. But the companies that do actually have like a 2-year, 3-year, 5-year strategy, you guys can do ABM. Because you're thinking about the growth of the business in the long term. But if you're in a business where you're like, I only know what next quarter's goals are, you are not set up for ABM success. I mean, in fact, you're not actually really set up for many long-term marketing campaigns, to be honest with you.
Most marketing is going to be hard.
Most marketing
that
is
scale,
It's going to be very hard if you're only looking at the next quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you were to go back before you started your ABM role, what are some of the key things you would be talking to, internal teams, but also your senior leaders about? Like, what would you be setting expectations on?
First of all, I probably wouldn't just jump into it without thinking. I would sit down and actually ask the relevant questions. Like, okay, great, you're giving it to me from the strategy perspective and kind of execution perspective. Who's actually going to support me with that? Who's going to do my designs? Who's going to help me write the content? Who's going to help me with the research? Who's going to actually be in my team? Because I think that would really answer a lot of dramas that happen and avoid the mental breakdowns that I had.
Maybe who's going to be a salesperson?
Who's going to be the salesperson?
Yeah, who's going to follow up with all this stuff?
Yeah, who's going to? How is SDRs going to, approach the ABM leads? And even simple things like, how are we going to measure the leads that are, everyone fucking measures MQLs. We can't escape that, and we're always going to measure them, and we're always going to have the scoring system and make them from leads to MQL. Okay, how are we actually going to approach the ABM accounts leads that come?
Yeah.
Because if we are investing so much money into it, do we really have to wait until they hit the correct point scoring system, whatever, until they get to MQL? Who's going to follow up with them? Is it a specific ABM SDR, or are we going, what the hell is the whole structure of this ABM center of excellence. I think I would ask for that center of excellence being built first instead of just jumping and, oh, let's just spin up some ABM campaigns.
Or it's the fact that you need to be able to validate that it's something that's worthwhile doing. So like you could absolutely be like, yeah, okay, so these are all the things you need to think about. Are we going to do that? But actually, can I validate it as well? Can I go out to our customers? Can I learn about how they bought from us? Can I figure out if this is actually right?
Yeah.
As well as that center of excellence, and I feel like that is actually something that I've clocked quite a lot more recently,
and also,
is people not spending time validating.
Can we just start from like 3 accounts? Can we just test it? Yes. Can we do 3 accounts at the beginning and see how it works? Not how it works from the results perspective, because we're not going to see them. How it works internally.
Yeah.
Do we can we manage it on the small cohorts of 2 or 3 accounts originally? Because if we can, then we can scale it up later on. What's the point of dumping nearly 100 accounts and just trying to run it? Because what happened after the first year of me doing it, I cut those accounts in half. I went from 87 to 35 in the second year. And I said, absolutely, I can't do it for 87 accounts. Mm-hmm. No one fucking can. Everyone I speak, even now when I speak with people and I say, oh yeah, I've got 36 accounts under me, they were like, what do you mean 36 accounts? For one ABMer, are you mental? We've got 5 and that's already enough.
Yeah,
per
5,
ABMer.
Yeah.
Exactly that. So I think I would push for that start small. If they are giant accounts, no one does ABM to a tiny account that can give you 10K. Let's be completely honest. They are accounts with expectation and potential of a 7-figure deal. Let's try from 3 or 2 and then see if we can manage it internally. And if we can't, then we can't scale it up. Simple as that.
Do you also think that maybe marketers have been slightly the problem here, right? Because what happens is...
how you're like scratching your ear as you say this.
Are we just...
Because I think some of us have set the wrong expectations around account-based marketing, because even though I know we get frustrated by this, all these things that we've been saying, I think a lot of us do this thing where we're like, oh, what I actually want to do is not account-based marketing, but what I want to do is more personalized, tailored campaigns to small niche industry groups or verticals or whatever it might be. And yet we articulate that as ABM. So we're like, are we actually part of the problem?
100%. 100%. We kind of took it as, it was just this shiny thing that everyone was talking about and we all want to do it. And then actually not many of us actually do it. I think being on a lot of, ABM conferences and listening to people talking about their ABM campaigns and programs, I started to question it. Is it actually an ABM? Because I don't think so we're actually doing ABM. I think we're doing a lot of strategic kind of vertical plays and maybe use case kind of plays, depends on how people segment them. But is it really an ABM? Because I see a lot of those done, it's a landing page, a few assets, a LinkedIn campaign, and maybe an email send. And here we are, that's an ABM campaign. Is it an ABM campaign, really?
Probably not.
No,
like ABM.
I've done it as well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say everyone I'm doing amazing. Because I've literally done it.
We've literally done the same. So we're holding our hands up here. But I think for me, like in the truest sense, what it is literally being like, I mean, okay, let's actually talk through this. Let's talk through the process of where you would start, and let's see where we all get to. Where would you start, Marta?
Where would I start? From definitely a decent account selection. So first of all, and it's not my choice as well. I think a lot of people just choose accounts because they choose accounts. It's not sales choice as well. Let's not give them the power of choosing accounts because oh my gosh, I've done it the first year. Nominate the accounts. Seriously, it's a shit show that comes to me. So that account selection, looking into every single aspect from that perspective as well, not just what sales wants to do, not just what marketing thinks is done, but what the numbers actually telling us. What's the data? Because if you don't have the data, you have no clue what you're actually doing. You can have fantastic program and strategy built, but if you can't back it up with the data, it's never going to work. So look into that. So I would start from this, that's for sure. Once obviously the company is sold on the idea of starting slow and not jumping the guns crazy. So that would be my first thing. And then start with having a very clear communication with everyone involved in that process and then creating that program and that strategy from sales to customer success, renewals, SEs, brand, design, corporate campaigns, absolutely everyone, product, SDRs, very clear communication back and forth, not just help me guys come up with a value proposition for this account or whatever, but also set expectation, what is expected from them afterwards, because you can come up with a campaign and then SDRs have no clue how to follow up, sales have no clue what's happening, product, corporate, they just don't know what to do after. So set expectations, what they need to give you, and if they don't sign up this virtual document or whatever you want to call it, that they are happy to support you and help you, you can't do it on your own. If they are not in it with you, you're just not going to do it. So that kind of back and forth expectations, I think, is very important. That's how I would start.
Yeah. I also think it's like when it comes to finding the people who should be the accounts that you go after, I think so. The one time that I have been involved in account-based marketing that has gone relatively well was that basically we looked at the cross-section of clients that we have. We looked who we actually have data points for, as in like real tangible data points that say this person did this thing and this is what the result was, so that we've got some data, not just a use case where they go, oh, we had a great time, we loved it. That's not enough. And then we also then worked with the account managers, and we also had some external consultants who did, there was like a connection point between these external consultants and us, and looked at who had good relationships with the clients, but also who had pre-existing relationships into some of the accounts that we would want to target. Now, I know that feels a little bit old school, bit black book, but the reality is, like, the first activity we did off the back of that, so we obviously filtered down the list. We had like 4 accounts that we wanted to go after, and we said to ourselves, if we go after those 4 accounts, can we get those 4 accounts in a room with the 4 clients that we have that marry up and have dinner or whatever? I think it was a dinner, actually, a dinner where we just get everyone in the room to start with. Like that was our starting point. And can we do that? Yes, we can, because we've got the relationships. We've got a great person who's a great advocate for what we do, so we can get everyone in the room. We can start with dinner. The next layer on from that was, okay, so we've now done the dinner, and those relationships keep fostering because the CEO's involved. Guess what? The CEO's the one keeping the relationships with the other, not us, not some salesperson. And then what happened next was we decided we would do a workshop for the people who were the level down in that organisation. Right. So the HR, in this case, the HRDs have a workshop. Then the next layer down was going to be like, okay, we're going to do webinars for all the HRBPs in those organisations. So we start with like top, middle, bottom, and that is a lot of people, and that is just 4 accounts. And that is
I love it.
And that is like
completely wrong way if you think about it.
Even I can't even think how many people it was that were like across those 4 accounts, but it was at least managing 50 relationships.
Girl,
went from top to bottom, and it was like that is how detailed it was. And it was basically like those original 3 activities were across 6 months.
Love it.
And then there's stuff in between as well. There were the LinkedIn ads, there were the pages, there were there was all that. That was the only time I think I've ever been involved where I've been like, wow. And they were really, and like the organisation involved were really bought into this idea. And the reason they were bought into the idea was because there were data points that actually proved that when these organisations were involved with us, there was a real benefit. So like the starting point was like, actually this is going to help them, rather than like, how can we make money?
And you know what, I love this. Oh my gosh, there's so many things that I would probably do differently now as well. A lot of people start ABM campaigns in general looking exactly the same through that kind of perspective of a normal marketing. You start from top of the funnel, then you go to the middle of the funnel, you go to the bottom of the funnel. What you just described was completely the other way around. You started from the bottom. You've started from the top, the relationship, from the bottom of the funnel, the C-level relationships. Love it. Yeah, you always do some kind of noise around it, the digital campaigns and everything.
Yeah, there's always stuff going on.
Starting ABM from just digital, and then you run that digital for 5 or 6 months, and then you try to incorporate some kind of face-to-face or engagement or that relationships. It just doesn't. I would do it completely differently. And you can do it the other way around, when you can really focus on the accounts, because you've got 4 and you know exactly what you're doing. If you have 87 split across 16 different cohorts, it's impossible to actually look at that cohort and say, okay, we've got 5 accounts in this. They are very similar, have very similar issues and challenges. Let's just do, no, you use ABM as that kind of, you have a blueprint. You copy and paste the strategy.
Yeah,
That is the biggest
like
thing. No, and it didn't work for me at all. And that's why I'm, angry at myself at some point of like,
No.
because you don't have time, because you've got so much accounts and you're losing moment to actually sit down and come up with a strategy, and you doing it first for the first cohort or for the first, one account, and then you just copy and paste it to the other, because you don't have time to sit down and come up with a completely different strategy for those. You're just utilizing it as a blueprint, and I hate that, because I think ABM just doesn't have a blueprint.
Well, it just also,
Right.
I think, again, blueprint totally just undermines what ABM's supposed to be, because we are talking about relationships. So you cannot have a blueprint for building a relationship with a person. Like, you just can't. And also, what I also was going to just say about how we selected the 4 accounts. So obviously, the other thing is, it's like, it wasn't even like UK transport companies. It was literally the train companies that run out of London. That's how specific it was. It was so specific.
Yeah.
These are the ones the accounts we want to go after, because we know we have these customers who are the same, and like we've got this data. And so it's like that. So I feel like that's another thing that people get wrong, is they go, especially when like sales select the accounts, they'll go like, oh, let's go after Amazon, let's go after Netflix, let's go after Google. I'm like,
Because they're big.
have you got any idea about how long how much money that would take to do that?
Yeah, I love that. Sales always go, is this the biggest one? So let's go for it.
No.
How many? Who actually do we know from that account? No one. Great, amazing, fantastic candidate.
Even with
for
like
ABM.
intent data, like I think that's another thing here as well with intent data. Like if you've got something like 6 Sense, that's
Sorry.
but it is gonna help you, because you'd be able to go to people. Well, you want to go after Google. Well, no one from Google's ever even been on our website.
Yeah,
So like they don't
pointless.
even know we fucking exist. So
But yeah, let's invest $500,000 into a campaign with Google. Yeah, amazing, great
idea.
But they don't even know who the fuck you are.
So what do you think? I mean, again, like for a lot of companies, lots of people will be trying to dabble with ABM in 2026, because again, it's just been it's been another really hard slog for people. Do you think there is a version? Should we just call it campaigns and like personalization versus?
I think, you know what? I think, and specifically now, we have oh my gosh, I just went through the exercise not long ago of watching million demos of ABM tools, the landing page tools, and those kind of, the beauties of ABM world, basically. With the amount of tools that we have, and with the amount of AI at the moment that is there and helping us with that, we need to throw AI somewhere. I think ABM in 2026 will start not being ABM anymore, because people think that basically utilizing AI and throwing a logo and doing those this is basically just doing ABM. But it's not really, isn't it?
It's just doing good marketing.
It's just good marketing, and it's great that it's personalized, and it's fantastic that we have those tools to help us do it. Utilizing intent, first party, third party intent, whatever. Utilizing AI to rewrite a content so it's really aligned and personalized to the specific account or a specific industry. Using that knowledge, great. I love the fact that we can do it now, because it can speed up the process and really dig a little bit deeper into specifically our messaging and the value proposition, and get it a little bit more aligned to whoever we're going after. But this is not ABM. And I think what we're going to see is that mass push and the waves of everyone's doing ABM, where actually we're just improving in our standard demand gen and marketing practices. And I think that's how it's going to go.
Yeah. The other thing actually that just sprung to mind about the client that I think is where we did the really good ABM play, is that the organisation was not struggling for revenue. And I think that's also really important to say, because they've got 3,500 clients. They've got a steady flow of clients that renew. They renew their clients for, I think it's 10 years.
Brilliant.
So they're not worried.
Try some shit.
They're not worried. They're not worried about whether this goes wrong or not, and they can also afford to play the long game.
Exactly.
So I think, again, that's just another extra thing to say to people.
Yeah, if your company is focusing on growing a business, 40-50% year on year, and your main focus is net new logos and gaining new customers, just fucking wait. Don't jump into ABM yet, because ABM's not going to help you with net new logos. Like, oh my gosh, I love that. We're going to do ABM to a completely greenfield, companies that we've never even spoke with, but we're going to invest shit tons of money and run ABM to them. Well, that's not going to work. So just wait a second. Do a very good personalized strategy in your marketing in general. Don't jump into ABM or whatever you want to do and call it ABM, because it's a joke. That's what it is.
I think the other thing for me is ABM, because it's so tied to specific deals and accounts, I think it needs commission for everyone.
100%.
Just saying, it's different.
Just saying.
I think marketers should get commission anyway, but ABM is like a whole other area.
Yeah.
Or at least a bonus.
Yeah.
Whatever. If we hit target.
Yeah. Pizza Friday. Don't. Come on. We get Pizza Friday.
No thanks. I can
want
buy
freebies.
my own pizza.
Yeah, literally. The whole problem with lack of commission for marketing and bonuses, it's my pet peeve as well. I mean, bonuses I feel like they're starting to come a little bit more now, because I can see this happening, that more companies gives marketing bonuses, not just for the director level. I think that was the most annoying one. Directors and above get bonus, but the actual people who fucking churn through the job and do and execute every single campaign did nothing. Great, you just get a basic salary. But I can see the bonuses actually creeping up now. Commission, I don't think so. It's ever going to happen. I just doubt it. It'd be great though, but
it would be like what I think it would definitely be a way of bringing the marketing and sales team and CS and everybody, because CS also should be getting commission, I think, in my head. Like it would be bringing us actually together as a growth team in the right way, incentivizing the right behavior.
Guys, if I ever work in house again and get to build my own growth team, I promise you everyone's getting commission.
Awesome.
Yeah, I will do that.
I would love that. I would genuinely love it. If I ever get to the level of, CMO or something, I would fight for it. Genuinely fight for it. It just motivates people.
Also, you can't. If you're targeting people on revenue, then bitch, reward them on revenue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And also, it's like, actually, if you want people to care about the numbers, if you want marketers to care about the numbers and give a shit about doing this stuff properly, then
pay them.
Yep.
Let's get some money.
Yep. Because if you under-deliver or over-deliver, no one cares. You get paid exactly the same. So why would I want to over-deliver? You know what I mean? Why would I want to go above my job description and do something extra and hit 150% of my quota if I get paid exactly the same if I hit 80%?
Yeah.
True that, guys.
Makes sense.
So we need to give marketers commission in 2026. We also need to draw a very clear distinction between ABM and just good marketing.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, Marta, have you got any marketing gossip for us to have a bitch and a moan about? Anything good or bad that you want to moan about with us?
A few. It's kind of good and kind of bad. So what really fucking annoys me in B2B specifically, marketing and the companies in general, is when you look at their creatives design, ads on LinkedIn or whatever it's coming out, you can literally cover the logo and use the same design for any company. They are so boring, stuck up, using exactly the same stock images. Real story from us. Our competitor, not Cribble, I'm talking to my previous jobs. Our competition used exactly the same stock images in their LinkedIn ads campaign that we were using. It was the same person, a happy woman holding a phone. They are just so freaking boring. And when I compare it with B2C brands, when they actually using humor and jokes and then just making something, I don't know, different, something that actually wants you to look at those ads, because I fucking hate it. The same stock images, the same tacky, lines on those ads, and then you literally can reuse it, copy paste for any company that you go around, regardless, especially in tech and cyber. It's my pet peeve. I hate it, and I really hope it's going to finally change and we start treating the campaigns and the digital creatives as we should. Like, end of the day, we showing them to people, not to robots. Why we still at least at this moment we still trying to build some trust and a relationship with a person. So why are we talking to them like they are not people?
Speaking of stock images and adverts, HubSpot has been doing a lot of print advertising in the last 12 months that I've noticed because I'm a HubSpot girly. But you know the tunnel from St. Pancras to King's Cross Station? There's like the underground.
Yeah.
And there's like ads all the way down. It's just a stock image of a person doing something and it says HubSpot. That's it. It's like someone drinking a coffee, HubSpot. Someone like doing something, HubSpot. And I was like,
how? What is that relevant?
what are we doing here?
And then you cover that HubSpot and put Microsoft on it.
Literally.
Oh,
And also, it doesn't even make sense. Like, it doesn't even on its own.
Durex, literally anything.
At least if you've got budget to burn, like
Just
HubSpot
do it.
clearly do,
Yeah.
do something that's photographable and make it like at least social media worthy.
Or at least like
it's boring shit anyway.
Aligned to the thing, so it's like someone being frustrated that their laptop or something, like at least like a little connection, but it's literally someone drinking a coffee, HubSpot. And I'm like,
what the fuck,
what's happening here, guys?
I remember that's a good goss as well, campaign, trying to do a campaign, and I remember that too, I think automotive industry, that was focusing, an ABM campaign, focusing on automotive industry, doing a PDF, some kind of executive summary, white paper, whatever, and the creatives giving me the asset, and on the first fucking page is a guy like holding a phone like this, and the title that is completely not relevant, very relevant to automotive industry, but that image,
It's like,
with that, I was like, why, how did you choose that image? Oh, because they are our brand images. Fuck's sake, seriously? So what that they are brand images? What is the relevance between that person who's holding the phone to what you're talking about, identity in automotive industry, in cars? Just put a fucking car on it. Like, use
at
your
least
brain
put a car on it.
That what annoys me. Like, brand, a lot of companies have, these are our brand images. This is the standards that we need to keep.
Yeah.
Really, do we need to keep it? Because it doesn't make any sense.
Also,
like,
it just doesn't, like you say, it just doesn't resonate with people anymore. Like, we live in a world where we're so bombarded with shit. If it doesn't catch your eye, I mean, I always like to say that it should punch you in the face, not give you a cuddle.
Like, if I see a ad and I don't have any clue about what you do,
it doesn't help me.
Why? Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't get it. And anyway.
It's the same with messaging. Bad messaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I still click on a lot of websites where I go, what the fuck do you do?
If I don't understand what you do in the hero, you've lost me.
Oh, you've lost me. I haven't got time for this.
Yeah.
Lots of companies to see as well. I look into the websites, it's like,
you're not even keyword stuffing at that point. You're just
at least keyword stuff. At least then we know what you do.
Yeah, the waffling about we do absolutely everything, and I'm kind of like, but what does it actually
Big
mean?
ethereal statements.
Well, then it's like, call us, and I'm
I'm
not calling you guys. I've got better things to do.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, thank you so much, Marta.
Thank you.
I hope anyone going into ABM
don't.
I was going to say, don't think this is a super negative episode, but
no, it isn't.
This is what the reality of it is. So be aware of what that is and make sure you're setting yourself up for success. Because if you're the person doing ABM and it doesn't go well, you're probably going to be on the line for it. So make sure you do everything to have those odds in your favor, not against you.
But also, you know what? Try it. Lots of marketers go into ABM like I did, from field or from digital, from something. Try and see if it actually brings you joy as well. Because if you're not happy and if you actually don't like doing it after, 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, a year, you realise, you know what, it's not for me. Yeah. You're never going to be good at this because it doesn't give you that buzz. Yeah. So just see.
Excellent way to end. Yes. If it doesn't give you joy, don't.
Keep on, Wonderful. Thank you so much. And to everyone watching, we'll see you in the next episode.